Welcome to artofdino.com. I've got an interesting one today that combines art with ancients, with a translation, with some theory, with the poles, with all kinds of cool stuff. And it's just something amazing. And I call it the heart-shaped earth. And I ended up finding this map from Orontius Finnaeus in the 1500s, or i500s, which is shaped like a heart. But it's very interestingly shaped like a heart. And it makes me wonder, when cultural things latch on to symbols like hearts, etc., we've come to find out that they're all kind of have different hidden esoteric meanings behind them and origins in places that are not what they portray now, almost like they're tricking us into loving certain symbols that have particular different meanings so that we worship it and cast spells on it and ourselves in the world around us. So this is the map that I am referring to, and it is awesome. And it is heart-shaped. You could also say it looks like a butt or something, but I go with the heart shape here, and it is awesome. And it's very interesting. And right at the center of the heart, like the apex where the two kind of humps meet at the top, is a close-up of basically the North Pole, Meru, the rock, the promontory cliff, the rock, the magnetic north, the mastery, right where it all comes in. So I thought this was very neat. It's a geographical kind of take on stuff, but is there some truth behind this? Is this the magnetic map of the Earth, or is this something different? But look at Mercator and all those islands in there. Boom. That is something very spectacular, and I've never really seen it in that particular way and of that scale. I find it very cool, and the fact that it's in that position of the heart, right on that kind of apex, right as all lines kind of emanate from it, means that it's got some purpose, it's got some description that I'm not sure about, some intention behind the creation of this map that is more than just decorative. It's for some reason it just makes sense to me, and you can see all the Tarta Magna, Tartaria all over the place, all around there, very close to this area. And when you think about that, it's like, how could they not get to it? How could they not know what was up there when you see the map at this size, where it's basically like nothing? It would be like traveling from here to the Great Lakes, from Massachusetts to the Great Lakes. It would be like nothing from going to any of these places and connecting them. So it makes sense that they'd hide it from us and that they'd use a heart shape to mock us. And that's pretty much what they love to do. Mock, mock, mock. So I took a look at the writings on these maps, and I'm not sure if they're both by Finnaeus. I think they are, but they both have that heart characteristic. This one's a little two-pronged, but either way, they're all at a very similar time and a similar intention, with the similar apex in Meru at that tip of the center of the heart. So I'm going to translate them now, and all the sections, there's 4 different sections from both of these two maps, these heart-shaped maps. And so let's take a look at what they say. So this one, I did loose translates with Google Translate, so bear with me, but I think I got them pretty good. So this one says, Herman Venrayed to the reader. Orontius Finnaeus offers to you, a reader of geography, a geography which I have not hitherto seen. An accurate print of the Delphinates, or I'm not sure if he was of Delphi, and that's why they say that, but an accurate print of the Delphinates, or having learned of Macrobius, but that they have lain in darkness until this day, he presents to your obtuseness. You therefore receive this small gift, parentheses, if it is a stone, with good advice from both of them. So this is the double map that is referring to. And that has Australia as being a massive part of the other hemisphere, whereas Meru and Russia and Americas are all a big part of the other ones. So, or Europe, really. I don't think America's on there. But either way, the Delphinates, that's kind of curious. And so it's offering just some kind of hint. You therefore receive this small gift, if it is a stone, with good advice from both of them. So I wonder. And also the part about the darkness, or having learned of Macrobius, who I'll have to look into, but that they have lain in darkness until this day, he presents to your obtuseness. So it's kind of like, almost like this has been a secret for a while until now. And that now is i500. So I don't know what to think, really, but I love this theory, and I know that there's something behind it. So now let's get into these other ones from this map, which I truly love. Here is what this one has to say. The top is his name, and then it says Regius Mathematica, an interpreter for the studious reader. It is about the 15th year, candid reader, in which the snow-covered world was designated, that we first cover this hymn of the human heart, and that in favor of the most Christian and powerful Francis of the Franks, King Mercoena, Mercoena, but the most elemental. I longed most of all for a description of the universe to be communicated to the various students of mathematics at some time, which, after various fortunes and obstacles to our studies, which have hitherto been obstacles to us, we finally accomplish at our peril. Thus we have increased the observation of the most recent hydrographers, and we present to you, the eager reader, all men of good will, a hearty and generous spirit, the image of the geographical heart. It remains, therefore, that our labor and industry may not be burdened with a human countenance, and that we may consult with the good ones. Very awesome. I love what it refers to. I'd love to check that out. But in the 15th year in which the snow-covered world was designated. So how many years? Has that eye symbolized thousands of years ago? Is this a truly ancient map? Or is it 400 years old? 500 years old? I think it's beyond that. But let's find out. Let's let's theorize, I guess. Here we go. And now this section, annotation from this flat description of the world, of the 2 quarters and the places, the measured longitudes and latitudes, the distance of the journey, parentheses, only that 90 degrees does not represent a degree, will be allowed to be nearly true. So I'll read that again. Annotation from this flat description of the world. Now they're either referring to the flat Earth or they're referring to the flat as in 2-dimensional map of the 2 quarters and the places, the measured longitudes and latitudes, the distance of the direct journey, only that 90 degrees does not represent a degree, will be allowed to be nearly true. In the name of your Father, I will mark the length and breadth of the places, and from these places in the charts, the coast is placed on 1 foot of the circle above the other place, and extended in the rest. Having translated the circle without variation in that straight line, which divides the bizarre figure and is distributed into its own steps, and the soul is divided into 2. How many steps the circle itself takes? For if these were 62 miles, or 31 Gallic leagues, or 20 common leagues, you would obtain 14 great platoons at a distance of 1,200 miles. So I'm not really sure what the math is and how the math is all incorporated into this, but very fascinating again in the fact that earlier he mentions that this was a mathematical map, that this type of mathematics hadn't been used in maps before, and they were 15 years out from discovering the snow-covered lands. And the very last part of that at the very bottom says, further, it is secured by royal sanction that no one should print or sell or in any way dissemble this image of the geographical heart, here to the decent from the manifest contention of the workman under the gratuitous mule expressed by the clear diploma granted at Lyon. So, wow, that's their little copyright, little section right there. But I really find it amazing. And then when you look at different things, what we use hearts for, you can kind of get a glimpse of, what are they doing with this symbol, or where is this symbol from? So they use the heart all over the place. Of course, they use it in cards as one of the 4 main symbols. And the cards have an interesting history too. And is it a divination method, an ancient divination thing, an ancient, who knows? But they're there. The hearts, the diamonds, the spades, the cloves. So here we go. This is an old drawing of a heart. Just again, something kind of, they've been observing for a long time. Leonardo da Vinci has different descriptions, but you notice the shape of the actual heart in combination and compared to the design shape of the heart, like that heart geographical map that was even referred to back then. So that, they're clearly very different. The heart symbol is like almost cartoonish compared to what this one looks like. And you can see that I guess it has some type of resemblance to that shape, but when you smooth it out the way that map does and our traditional heart symbol does, it's really not very similar. So both have existed for a very long time apparently, and I'm not sure when that origin occurred, but I just find it very interesting that they'd have a map like this, which claims to be very mathematical, very cutting edge at the time of its creation, very accurate, very masterful. And then we get that heart shape that's just similar. And if there's people, Neil deGrasse is always like, oh, the shape is a pear, or oh, the shape is blah blah. No one knows the shape of this place. We really don't. And how it's displayed or how it's anything, but I kind of think there's some mathematics or magnetic properties behind this HeART display. But just again, you have the iHeart New York, iHeart Aruba, iHeart Earth. This was a kind of logo I tried to make t-shirts out of, or was thinking about at one point. This another heart. This logo inspires everything. This symbol is everywhere. There's an entire holiday based on it. And when you know about holidays in America and their sinister origins, you again begin to question this. You look at the peace sign and how it's upside down and how people worship it, but they're worshiping the almost the breaking down and the incarceration and imprisonment of the human with their symbol. So it's not out of the realm of possibility that they would use symbols like this, which are truly divine, and turn them into something else. And they still keep it. Peace still means something peaceful. Heart still means it means love. It's very positive, but that is only kind of, if its origins and stuff are based in evil, then we're all kind of promoting and supporting and giving energy to something that is not proper. But if that's the shape of the world, then that takes on a whole different thing. Personally, I think that's really amazing. And I don't know if it's necessarily the shape, but maybe just the shape of this realm, or maybe the shape of the reach of the power from Mount Meru. Like maybe that is the energy that emanates from them, whether it's magnetic or whatever, the spores, the water, if anything, the atmosphere, if anything, if it all stems from there, it almost seems to make that heart shape work in a very interesting way, because I could see it expelling in that. Like how you see light reflecting off inside of a coffee cup in different patterns like that, or you see the sun on the flat earth kind of in its light, or the light reflecting on a sphere, or any kind of surface, and you get these particular patterns that, who knows? So I don't. Again, I'm just theorizing. This is an old love mandala, me and my wife's first love mandala, where at the very top I drew the cosmic celestial heart, the beating rhythm of the universe. And so this symbol is just everywhere. It's got us by it's everywhere, in our thought, in our thinking, in our clothes, in our style, and everything. And what is the origins of it? Where is it coming from? What energy are we producing by thinking and by giving this symbol so much power? The power of love, something that defines life and death, that keeps going forever and ever. And we symbolize it by this heart shape, which Orontius Finnaeus mathematically and strategically turned whatever map existed before into this shape. And it's really amazing to think about that. And I wonder what's on the other realms. I believe there's so many more realms. And look at the bottom, how big Antarctic is. It's massive. It does not look like it's a small thing at the bottom, or a wall of just ice. It looks like it's so much more. And if this isn't a sphere, then the whole universe and our Earth, then, is this just one power center? This rock, are these rocks that are in the center up here, this Meru-like structure, are these found all over the place? If you keep going down past Antarctica, would you find another one? If we went to the other side, would we find more and more? What is the shape of this place? We really aren't going to know until we full-blown explore, or we get to the secrets of what was beyond this, what happened after this map, what happened before it. Either way, it's so accurate, and to stretch maps and make them accurate and keep their precision is a very tough thing to do. So Orontius was onto something. I'm not sure what, but leave your insight in the comments below. And the proximity to Tartaria and everything about that, and even just the fact that they're covering, they were talking about 15 years since that snow-covered designation, means that they came from somewhere, and the closest area and civilization seemed like it was Tartaria. So the origins to all this and the truth lie in this lost civilization, which we keep uncovering, but we have a lot more to do. So let's keep going. Add your insight below. Again, I love hearing it, and share and enjoy. Bless you all.